What's up, Screen Junkies? Welcome to Smash It, a show that used to be called something else until our legal department said we couldn't call it that anymore. It's mainly just another excuse to talk about movies and to waste money on commemorative plates.
Like this one, representing the year 1999. A good year in film? A bad year? I don't know, but we'll be counting up the pros and the cons, which will determine the fate of this plate. You'll see how it works. Just stick around.
Was 1999 the best year for movies?
I don't know about best year.
99 was a solid year.
I don't know if good is the word for it, but it was a fun time.
I saw The Matrix 26 times in the movie theater.
I think the best movie of 1999 is The Matrix, just because it's actually withstood the test of time.
The Matrix started conversations.
The Matrix hit me on every single level. It's questioning reality. It's questioning the nature of what you are capable of doing.
Keanu Reeves was kind of a joke. I hate to say, but it's the idea of like Keanu Reeves is an action star. Whoa. And then it was completely just mind-blowing.
I know Kung Fu.
I saw that movie 26 times.
No, The Matrix isn't as cool as it was to us in 1999. Nothing is as cool as it was in 1999. We used to think the internet of 1999 was cool.
You've got mail.
The Matrix made leather jackets cool again.
Just the aesthetic of it, like the leather coats and the sunglasses and all that, that was 90s action for you.
Most of those times were dollar theater, but I still saw it 26 times.
I remember when The Matrix first came out, everyone was talking about the bullet time sequence, and Niels was like, ugh. And I remember getting in the swimming pool and trying to recreate it because I was too fat to ever try to do something like that in real life.
I don't know if anything will ever approximate how cool bullet time was.
Bullet time was something that we had not seen. It felt like the future.
Holy they finally put that Gap commercial in a movie.
It went Gap ads, Matrix, and the Matrix looks so much better than the Gap ads. First of all, no one was wearing cargo pants or dancing to swing music. That's a whole other thing with 1999 that we don't even have time to talk about.
Blair Witch is about a witch legend and 3 dumb people that go out exploring the legend and then start fighting with themselves and die.
You gotta watch Blair Witch, or like you are a total pansy, don't even bother showing up for school.
I was a kid, and this was scary AF.
Yeah, I was an idiot when Blair Witch Project came out, and I totally thought it was 100% real.
I thought this was actual found footage, and I thought that this was like gonna happen to me.
I never thought the Blair Witch was real, nor was I freaked out by arts and crafts left willy-nilly in the woods.
I thought it was like a Dateline type thing. I bought it hook, line, and sinker.
Blair Witch Project really changed the way that people conceived of a movie. It really made it seem like anybody could make a movie.
But it's not really that scary. It's just, you feel sick because it's just shaky cam, and I'm glad that we mostly got over that. Varsity Blues was like, what cliche teen angst can we put in a film and just frame it all about football, and everyone's gonna go see it because James Van Der Beek's like in Dawson's Creek and everyone likes him.
James Van Der Beek, man. James Van Der Peek.
I don't want your life.
I don't want your life.
I don't want your life.
I don't want your Varsity Blues take.
I know whose life I want. That can of whipped cream.
That whipped cream bikini is not possible.
I tried to do the whipped cream thing for my wife. She was not as receptive as I thought she would be.
Do we have to talk about Phantom Menace? Because I'm kind of triggered.
I have a confession to make about the Phantom Menace. I was in denial for many years.
Don't hate me. I loved it.
I walked out of the theater, I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen, and I saw it 10 more times.
Okay, I was 13. It was a new era of Star Wars that was happening in my lifetime.
There was no universe where George Lucas makes a bad Star Wars movie. There were 3 of them, and they were all great, and the Phantom Menace was gonna be great.
My brain wasn't fully formed to hate things yet.
And it wasn't until I was kind of older and my movie taste had changed that I was like, I don't think kids really give a about trade federations and trade routes and tax disputes.
The chair recognizes the senator from the sovereign system of Naboo.
It was indeed a pretty disappointing movie with some great things in it.
I think I was distracted by how cool looking Darth Maul was.
The good won out, and I was taken in particularly by the Darth Maul, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon Jinn lightsaber fight, which I still believe is the best lightsaber fight in probably all the Star Wars movies.
That was the moment that bamboozled me into thinking I had a good time at the theater.
Yeah, Phantom Menace is definitely the worst of the Star Wars movies.
I even then was conscious of the fact that I was trying to talk myself into like, that was something. I wonder where they'll go from here.
Also, good God, who was that kid who played young Anakin?
I'm a person and my name is Anakin.
God bless Jake Lloyd. This is pod racing.
Yippee! Does not a Darth Vader make.
Say what you will about pod racing, on a big screen, pod racing looked really damn cool.
And they wasted Liam Neeson. How do you waste Liam Neeson?
Office Space is, if I was gonna sum it up, it's a guy who gets hypnotized and literally loses all his filters that he's supposed to have in society and just stops giving a shit and somehow succeeds because of it.
Office Space is just the best satire on the working world that there was at the time and probably still is today.
I just stare at my desk, but it looks like I'm working.
It's funny because Office Space hits that same thing that Fight Club hits, that kind of like, I'm making money and I'm doing okay, but am I happy and what am I doing with my life?
Like, what happened to Ron Livingston?
Ron Livingston is one of the most underrated movie stars of all time.
He's incredible in that movie.
Good luck with your layoffs, all right? I hope your firings go really well.
He's so funny in that movie. I don't know, man. Maybe he's a dick.
Oh man, I mean, look, there's so many great quotes, and the great thing about the quotes in that movie are that they're so varied. So you have like Milton with like, gimme, I believe you,
two chicks at the same time.
I'm not gonna work here anymore.
PC low letter, what the hell does that mean?
Here's a piece of flair for you.
Oh.
Wait, I'm wearing the shirt. Yeah, holy crap.
American Pie could never get made today. It's so offensive.
American Pie was one of those movies that everyone was talking about when it came out, and I just remember I was like, this is really funny, and this is what high school's gonna be like, and the high school was not like that at all.
It was that generation's version of the dirty teen comedy, and he f***s a pie. I mean...
No, I hate to admit it, but like, what was I, 14, 15? Like, I laughed during American Pie for sure.
It's our Mean Girls, or whatever. It's one of those movies that talks to one generation and only one generation, and then every other generation is like, you liked this?
I think looking back, the only really bad thing about it is that he was like spy camming some woman and like broadcasting it over the internet without her knowledge. Like, that's really messed up. That's like Revenge of the Nerds level effed up.
Thank gosh the 90s were different, because otherwise we would never have some of these films where you can like mail order people and pies.
I did see Galaxy Quest in theaters and I loved it from the get-go.
There's a part where he goes in the spaceship, and in the theater, the aspect ratio actually changed. The curtains opened up, and there was just this feeling like you were jumping into this bigger world, and it was so good, so funny. Galaxy Quest is one of the best.
Alan Rickman is brilliant in Galaxy Quest. It's a really meta role for him because his character in the movie is this classic actor who has no business being here.
I was an actor once. Damn it, now look at me, look at me!
I think at this point, kind of the Tim Allen charm had worn off a little bit.
I honestly wish that it would have been somebody other than Tim Allen.
There's no excuse for Tim Allen to be in a movie with Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman and Sam Rockwell, to me, are kind of like the hidden MVPs in that movie. Gil Barr's hammer, whatever the hell he says, it's fantastic.
Being John Malkovich is about two unhappy people who don't fully love each other, but they do find that they love being inside John Malkovich.
Being John Malkovich was aimed directly at college kids that wanted to impress their date.
I was a little hipster, so I was like, oh, Spike Jonze, he makes the best skate videos. Like, oh, his movies are dope.
It's a very strange concept of a movie.
Malkovich.
it, but somehow Spike Jonze is able to make something that crazy kind of work.
I love when the guy throws the beer can at John Malkovich's head.
Hey, Malkovich, think fast!
That was not an extra, that was not an actor. The legend has it that that really happened and they just left it in the movie, which I think speaks to the magic of this film.
You know what? I'm just realizing that the plan for the people in Being John Malkovich is exactly the same plan as the white people in Get Out. I literally just realized that. We're gonna go live in the body of someone else and push their consciousness deep down inside of them so that we can live forever.
It's really amazing that something like that ever got made. I mean, come on, man. Rob Schneider, the best rhyming titles ever. Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo.
I think I've seen this movie. That's the nicest thing I can say about it.
I think that Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo should be used as a form of torture to get prisoners to give up their terrorist plots.
It's like a horny cartoon for grown-ups.
Look, man, making copies is an underrated SNL sketch, you know? I mean, he's Adam Sandler's friend, but there are probably more talented people that could have that spot.
It's so bad that I kind of question whether or not you should be able to reproduce if you like this movie.
I'm not ashamed for seeing Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo. Rob Schneider had a good little run.
I just think like the sheer number of times it's like, there's like a funny, for whatever reason, funny looking woman that he has to have sex with, and he just like looks at the camera like, well, I guess I gotta. Don't make that movie or you'll end up like Rob Schneider.
And actually, I think they made sequels, which is bizarre.
People look at Adam Sandler and go, God, he's such an idiot. He's a genius compared to Rob Schneider.
Ten Things I Hate About You is one of the greatest films of all time. It gave us Heath Ledger and Julia Stiles.
Dude, even before the Joker, Heath Ledger was cool, man.
10 Things I Hate About You is my second favorite British work of literature adaptation into an angsty teen drama.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. One of the best scenes in a movie when he does that is like, doo, 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 and the whole band, and yeah, it's romantic.
He's rad in A Knight's Tale. Can we do one of these where we only talk about A Knight's Tale?
10 Things I Hate About You makes you love Heath Ledger. The Joker makes you want to cry every night. So, and for his sanity, 10 Things I Hate About You is the best Heath Ledger.
Dogma is actually my favorite of Kevin Smith's movies.
So you had the controversy, like Kevin Smith was like, I have something to say about religion.
There's a lot of truth in what Kevin was saying in that movie.
Oh man, you've got Chris Rock, you have Jay and Silent Bob and all the favorites, but then you also have Damon and you have Alanis Morissette as God. Like everyone was in this movie.
And there's a big monster in it, so it's like you diffuse, as he himself will point out, you can't really take a movie with a big monster in it that seriously.
Plus the Catholic Church has had some problems since then.
This is my Fight Club, my wrong and right club. Sorry.
I am a fan of Fight Club. Mind-bending, twisty, Helena Bonham Carter at her best.
I think Fight Club is one of those movies that when the first time you see it, your mind is just blown.
The first rule of Fight Club is to pay your membership dues.
Don't talk about Fight Club.
Don't talk about Fight Club.
Don't talk about Fight Club, bitch.
And then it's like no biting, I don't know.
Change your shirt.
Don't kick him in the nuts.
Don't go back to work with blood on your shirt, dummy. Don't know you're in a fight club, and then you'll violate the first two rules.
To this day, I don't think there's a twist in any movie that has quite blown my mind like the one in Fight Club.
I was like, Edward Norton and Brad Pitt, the same person? Nah.
That's why I love to watch this movie again and again, is to find little hints of like, oh, that's another moment in this movie where I should have seen it coming, but I didn't.
Fell down some stairs. I fell down some stairs.
It's kind of strange now, almost 20 years later, the nihilism of that movie seems kind of quaint, almost. Like, oh, really? You think that sucks? Like the fact that you have to buy stuff from IKEA?
I and many other young men like myself who first saw it thought that Tyler Durden was like a badass hero who just maybe took things a little too far.
I want you to hit me
as hard as you can.
But everyone's like, I'm gonna start a fight club. And it's like, no, it's not aspirational. Well, the whole movie was about how don't do that.
We should have paid attention to that movie. We should have paid attention to toxic masculinity the first time they tried to talk to us about it.
Well, it looks like our perfectly scientific scoring system says that 1999 is safe.
A little more good than bad, just like the song Livin' La Vida Loca by Ricky Martin. Hit it, Joe.
Upside inside out.
Well, there you have it, the place of honor. Guys, check back later where we'll be doing even more episodes of Smash It to see how your favorite movies, careers, and decades hold up.
If it breaks 100K, we get to leave this alley.